about this controversial in normal world topic in a minute. Just after the direction bias of the West is discussed. Honest capitalism. So, doesn't exist in real life, but let's give it a thought process chance. The shops never label this product. You've noticed that if it's negative, they will give it a neutral label. They'll just simply call it batteries by itself. So we've got one for the price of two, short life batteries, and these questions that were in the other vlog, and again, just direction, xenophobia, or emotional, non-logical bias towards direction in the West, which makes no sense. It's just total emotional bias. Here we have an example. So let's say that 5 years ago, half a decade ago, and you remember that event or day way clearer than a couple of months ago, because the couple of months ago event feels like years ago. This is an example of non-linear. Yeah. And that event half a decade ago will be very clear and it'll be like almost yesterday. Again, it's because of non-linearity. Yeah. That's why. So maybe it's something to do with, again, the wormhole and the paper, so like if you have the two dots on the paper, they're far away, but then if you fold, so that's linear, let's say this represents linear, but then if you fold it, saw that on a video once, I can't remember what it was, but some kind of science thing, if you fold them, then the dots are next to each other, you see? So linearly, they're far away, but non-linear. See? So maybe it's something to do with that. Yes. I will charge this. There we go. That's better. So it doesn't run out. Okay. That's good. Just had to charge it. So that's an example of the non-linear. Yeah. And that explains why it seems clearer, in this example of something half a decade ago being very fresh in the mind and feeling like yesterday, and something that happened a couple of months ago or weeks ago or days ago feeling like years ago. Yeah, it's because of the folding of this or something like that. Again, this is a very low level. I saw it on a documentary of science years and years and ages ago, and it's very vague in my memory, but it was something to do with that. Some expert could explain it a million times better. I'm just giving an example here. I only know about feeling the energy. I know about feeling the energy. I don't know about all the rigid definitions and all that. Yeah. So, yes, direction bias and honest capitalism. That'd make for a very interesting shop, wouldn't it? If things had these labels on. Yeah. I think what I like to do is be controversial and to wind up normal people. Why do I like that? Well, because they used to like to wind me up. So I guess I thought it was only fair. They set the ground rules, if you like. So I thought they would, say the worst things, most atrocious things, or threats. It was 90% of the time it was threats. It wasn't actually doing anything. But I always thought, I thought to them, you know what? Okay, if that's how you want to play it, then okay. So I'll do it back to them. So that's why I talk funny language, because normal language is bizarre. So I just gave it back to them. I made up my own, and yeah. If my words are ever aggressive, it's because I got used to giving it back to them, because I thought, well, all right, if you want to start being like that, then I can do it too. You know, it's not very nice because we don't want to go down that road, but if they want to go down that road, but it's very sad that they have to be like that. But that's the reason why, if my language is ever tetchy or, wound up, that's why. Because they started on it. They started doing it anyway. Never mind. It doesn't matter anymore. It's a million years ago. But so basically, if they say you can't talk about that, then I'm talking about that. If they say you can't talk about that, then that I'm talking about that. If they say they basically love to they've just got control freak issues and they just love to tell you. They love to tell you what to do because they're just absolutely control freaks. But they can talk about any of their normal stuff. That's the hypocrisy. But you can't talk about any of your stuff. Any ND stuff. You can't talk about any ND stuff, but they can talk about all their normal stuff. Oh yeah, and so you're not meant to talk about any of that, but they can talk about their normal stuff. And I never liked hypocrisy, so I thought, well, fine. I'll talk about it extra doubly hard. So in college, on my course, first year of degree course, college, I did physics. I only did 1 year of it, and I did rubbish. And everything was a mess. Everything was a mess in the course. The social side, the academic side, the time management. I couldn't get travel in time, and everything was a mess, and it was horrible. But as we know, it's all set up in the normal structure. It's not set up for anything else. So I'm just saying what it is. I'm not going to get annoyed about it. I'm just saying it is set up that way, just like the left-handed and the right-handed. So obviously, I couldn't do it because the structure was the wrong shape. Just like if you're left-handed and it's a right-handed tin opener. It's basically that. It's that you can't do it because it's the wrong hand. So yeah. Anyway, they love the control freakery. They can talk about all their normal stuff, but you can't talk about anything. Well, think again. So, maybe this is coming in a bit. Maybe we're getting a bit of the. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just being fair. Maybe if they can do their normal stuff, I can talk about my ND stuff. Maybe that's just called being fair to people. Yeah, and not narcissistic. Normal narcissism and all that malarkey. So we've got all these ideas, and then oh yeah. So in college and the first year of the I did 1 year of a degree course that went really belly up and went terribly, as I say, because the structure was the wrong shape and whatever. It's no one's fault. I'm just saying it. It just was for whatever reason, cosmic accident, whatever you want to call act of God. It just didn't work for whatever reason. So a normal person said you can't talk about. But again, they can talk about all their normal stuff. This is hypocrisy. Well, and so some normal person said to me, can't talk about these two issues with people. So guess what? Again, because I don't like the hypocrisy of them being able to talk about normal stuff, but I can't talk about mine. So I thought, okay, I'm going to make a special effort now to deliberately talk about those two things as hard as possible. Because maybe some of this, but maybe some of the, as I say, the fairness. If they can talk about their normal stuff all the time, why can't I talk about? as I say, I wasn't even bothered about this. It was more this stuff. But then, it's a proper narcissistic culture, isn't it? Normal culture. I was gonna say to you, dude. I'm gonna say hello, and I'm gonna say you're much less so less angry about normal culture than I am. I don't know how you do it. It drives me completely mad, and it just winds me up because it's so stupid and petty and childish and immature and neoteny-ish and etc. So anyway, guess what? I talk about doubly, triply, quadruply hard. Yeah, because I don't like people being doing hypocrisy. Yeah, if you could talk about your normal stuff, I could talk about my ND stuff. If you are being fair and you're being 50-50, you don't talk about your normal stuff and I don't talk about ND stuff. That's fair enough. But if you're going to be hypocritical, narcissistic, then, expect some of this, you know? Anyway, okay, that came out a bit strong, didn't it? Anyway. Direction bias and honest shop, and I'm sure there are lots more words there. But, I had another idea written down, but where's it gone? It's really gone. No, it's not gone. It's just hiding. We'll talk about martial arts in a second. We just have to talk about... I figured out what my power is that I lost in the other life, and I think it was that 1, 2, and 3 examples of gods. Yeah. 3 examples. And that's it. So I don't know if it was lightning bolts. It was probably like on the... I don't know. More like out the hand or something. Shockwave or something? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's this. Anyway, whatever. Again, in 10,000 years ago, he was right. He was absolutely right. Yeah, I know, but you're living in a complete insane asylum and no one listens to reality, so whatever. Anyway, so yeah, that was the power. That's what the energy tells me. That it was the intuition energy that I'm getting right now was telling me. That was it. So whatever, do what you want. As I say, in half a millennium or whatever, they'll find out. Oh yeah, but no one will listen. It's just the loony bin in it, but yeah. So martial arts. So then, you get really depressed and you give up doing anything, and you sit in the chair depressed because you find out that actually, in the West at least, it's the thing that's rated the most is this, and then the Western weight training, WT, and it's almost reverse of the Eastern ideal. It was meant to be the other way around, that trumps that, but they've turned it on its head and satanic inversion, if you like. And then this with we have to pretend that we're not when we are, and the pretending is almost more important than the doing this, but they go hand in hand very much. And then so it's just basically Western weight training and strength overpowering people. Like, why even bother to do no-gi? Like, why not just use a gun or a giant baseball bat? Like, smash people. Like, why even bother? Like, I don't see the point. I really don't see the point. The pink one I got is Fuji Gi and it's BJJ and it's Skills one. And the money goes to charity, so part of the percentage of the fee for the uniform goes towards charity, so I'm very happy about that. And then I've had that one for a little while as well, longer than this. I've only just got this very recently. And I've never had a non-male gi before, so there you go. Or a BJJ, always Ludo. So I'm just gonna write this. That's a board game, and that's a sport combat. Anyway, so yeah, it's just depressing when you find that out. And you find out that you've been lied to the whole time. And honestly, with the culture of normalness, it's the same formula applied to pretty much everything. So whether it's no gay, whether you're in an old people party, whatever environment it is, the same method. One size fits all. It's the same method for everything. I'm telling you right now. It's like a sort of universal normal people formula. Anyway, it's the same Machiavellian formula applied to, again, whether you're at a party, whether you're at work, environment, whether you're at no-gi, whatever you're at, it's the same formula. We got to smash it into submission with a rock, because of... Oh man, it's really annoying. It's really annoying. Because how dare anything think for itself, Anyway. So yeah, that's just depressing about martial arts. That you find out that they've turned on its head with satanic conversion, and it's depressing. And then we have to do, take the drugs, and then do the go hard on this for some reason that they know in their culture, and I still don't know, and I'm not really care, to be honest. But man, normal culture just ruins stuff. It's like there's no heart and soul, there's no chi. It's just this physicalist, materialist, a buffet of drug abuse, and just really sad, isn't it? Really sad. No understanding of the non-physical or the metaphysical at all. Very sad. Just gonna do quickly about the going back to the direction bias. So anyway, it's like a kind of a redneck name, Jim Bob. But you never hear Bob Jim, so that's an example of direction bias. Why do you never hear Bob Jim? It's always Jim Bob. What's wrong with Bob Jim? Has anyone ever heard of it? I'm claiming that I invented it because I've never heard it before anyone come up with it. So I invented it independently, which means that even if someone else came up with it, I wasn't aware. So as far as I'm aware, I've came up with it. Bob Jim. Anyway. Direction bias. So yeah, Jim Bob, Bob Jim. Another thing of direction bias would be if you know what not to do. Again, it's always what to do, never what not to do. Because of Western direction bias. So if you don't know what to do, but you know what not to do, then you can use like a sculpturist would do, where they take off bits of clay and then they make a wonderful art piece, an incredible piece of art. You can do the same technique. So you don't know, let's say you don't know what to do, but you do kind of. But you kind of, let's say you kind of know what not to do. You don't know what to do, but you know what not to do. Then You just reduce like a sculpturist. Just cross stuff off your list. Say, well, I know I'm not doing this, and then you'll be left with it by process of elimination. So start from the negative direction. Again, it's a pure emotional, illogical direction bias. There's no rational, logic to it. So there you go. That's a way to work around the Western direction bias. If you know what not to do, then eliminate, and then what you're left with is what you can do. Yeah. Anyway, just a thought to help people. If it helps, good. If it doesn't help, then never mind. At least I tried. Do whatever works for you. Suit things to work for you. Modify it to work for you. One size does not fit all. If it doesn't work, then don't do it. Do whatever you want. I don't know. Modify it to people's specific situation. So, yeah. Do it from reverse direction. And, what else? Oh yeah, car batteries. They're just cool, so I like them. And lawnmower engines. And it's kind of like... I don't know if this was like Van Gogh's brain was like this. It might be the sort of the manic phase again of the bipolar. I'm going to say unofficial. I'm not qualified in Western psychology. I'm not making any diagnosis of self-diagnosement at all. I'm saying unofficial. That's why I'm saying unofficial. I'm not making a full clinical. I'm totally non-qualified. Okay, I'm saying that right now, so no one tells me I am. But the unofficial, BP, mental condition. Maybe it's the manic phase of that. Underline again the word unofficial. I'm not officially making any diagnosis with Western psychology, but in the unofficial manic phase of BP condition, these are cool. And lawnmower engines, and the unclothes, non-clothes. Well, I mean, there's a common theme here, isn't there, in all the vlogs? I think people are starting to get it now. Because that's the best thing in the entire world. Okay, I'm going to shut up for a minute about that, but look at the car batteries and the lawnmower engine motors. M lawnmower LM. There you go. Lawnmower engines, scrap yards, making stuff out of stuff. Anyway, yeah. Yeah. Probably my element, maybe. What my element in this world? Probably earth, because I'm close to community and family. That's my element. Earth and fire, because I love bushcraft and all that. So probably earth and fire, or fire and earth, whatever you want to call it. But again, the fire element's not from a magic point of view; it's from a very physicalistic point of view, which again is, I don't know. I think. Yak bone. and then you sort of dance around the fire like a red Indian or something. I don't know. Well, it'll be.
You alright? I have to go to Jess's to mind your dog. You can come if you want.
You have to? Why do you have to?
Just do. Have no dinner. It's crisp.
How long for? 2 hours, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1,
3 hours.
3?
Yes, till 11. But I don't know whether to just take Zan and come back. I don't know how Zan feels about that.
Well, ask him. He would know more than I would know because I'm not in the know of that situation. Where were we? Yeah, doing that and then banging a. If it goes clear, thank you. That's an animal, by the way. Wearing that on your head, then banging a drum. That would make sense in my energy world. Again, it makes more sense than normal world, but anyway. Anything does, to be honest. But yeah. So yeah. You wear that on your head, then you bang a drum, and then you make a fire. And you heat the fire up with oxygen. And bellows and... yeah. Anyway.
Do you want to come down?
Do you?